What's up, boys? Got some more NBA player props for you guys today in today's video. So yeah, if you guys are on prizepicks, I highly recommend joining. Use code DOMG when you guys do go ahead and sign up. Miss your first deposit 100% up to $100. So yeah, it's available in most states and Canada. Great website. I use it personally all the time, but we're taking a look at some NBA props today. I did not post anything yesterday. Yesterday ended up being, I think it was a 50-50 day for a lot of people. Some people had a really good day. Some people did not. I was one of the guys that kind of fell on the lower end there. Not very good, to be honest. It just didn't work out really well for me. Got hooked twice yesterday. So, I mean, off on half an assist and half a rebound, I think it was yesterday. Just couldn't get anything to really go our way, unfortunately. But, yeah, let's go and take a look at some of these here. And just always tail everything at your own risk. Do your own research. Do all the different stuff because this is kind of early in the day. It's 1 o'clock right now. But I think I do have a pretty gritty... It's a pretty good list today, I think. But yeah, just make sure you guys also like the video and subscribe to the channel. It seriously does help me out. If you guys are interested in joining the Discord, it's free. Go ahead and join it. Yesterday, we had a community lotto card from Wayne in the Discord. It went perfect 5 for 5. It was a 10x on your guys' money if you guys ended up playing it. So yeah, a lot of people did. So it was very good yesterday. Shout out to Wayne, man. He's been hitting pretty good. He's got his own section in the Discord. He's posting his free research over there. So if you guys are interested in joining, I definitely recommend it. So let's go ahead, though, and talk about some of these player props here. Okay, let's talk about first. I have an assist prop. I actually have 2 assist props, a rebound and a blocks and steals. So the blocks and steals switching up a little bit, but that might end up being like my favorite of the day, to be honest. But yeah, let's actually start off with my other favorite of the day. I think it's probably tied. It's going to be De'Aaron Fox, over 5.5 assists. I've seen a lot of people on this one, and I'm one of the guys that are on this. We were talking about this in the Discord a little bit earlier today, and I'm on this one. So he's averaging 6 in his last 5 games. He had 10 last matchup versus Denver. He had 4 in the other matchup versus Denver, and then 9 and 3 and 4. So I'm hoping he can get at least 6 tonight against the OKC Thunder. So let's take a look at this game here. So De'Aaron Fox is a point guard going against the Oklahoma City Thunder. We already talked about that. It's a 5-point spread, 227.5 over/under. So it's a pretty decent spread. Hopefully it should not blow out. And the over/under is pretty healthy too for some assists, it looks like. So this website is called FanDuel NBA Defenses versus Position, and then on Fantasy Pros. And this is called Rotowire NBA starting lineups, in case you guys were wondering. But let's take a look now at the point guard position, assist-wise, so far this season. And they are allowing the most assists in the league so far this season per game to the point guard position. Last 7 games here, they're allowing the 3rd most. So they've consistently been allowing a lot of assists to the point guard position. If you guys take more of a look into this one, he's a minus 132 to go ahead and hit this over. He's hitting 38% of his games this season. He has hit in 5 out of his last 10 games. And he is 1 for 2 with 5 in the first matchup and 8 in the second against OKC. So he did miss the first time they played, but the second time they played, he had 8. So he got hooked the first time they played, but I think he's still got a pretty good spot to hit this in this game. It's probably it's probably tied for my favorite of the day, I think. The last one I showed you guys would probably be the other one that's tied here. But let's take a look at the other assist prop, and then we'll move on to rebounds. But this is probably my least favorite of the day, but it's one that I think still holds a good amount of value, in my opinion. I spelled his name wrong? I think I did. Unless they took him off. Yeah, they didn't take him off. Jakob Poeltl, over 2.5 assists. So he's in an interesting spot here. We kind of were talking about in the Discord, leaning either Jakob Poeltl assists or Steven Adams. I'm kind of going with Jakob Poeltl over Steven Adams here. I think both could be in potential good spots. Steven Adams is at 3.5 assists. That could be considered a bonus here in this video if you guys want to take a look at that one. But I like Jakob Poeltl a little bit over 2.5 assists. He's averaging 4.4 in his last 5 games. I mean, he just had 8 against Washington, which is insane. But I think he's in a pretty good spot against Washington tonight to grab at least 3 assists here. So let's take a look more into this one here. He's a minus 115 to hit this over, so it's kind of a little bit on the lower side. But 52% hit rate this season. 7 out of 10 in his last 10 games he has hit. He had 1 in the first matchup versus Memphis, which was December 31st, but he had 5 in the second matchup versus Memphis, which was on January 26th. So the most recent matchup, he had 5, so we'll see if we can get it done today. And I took a look at, I was trying to figure out why there was such a big jump. DeJounte Murray didn't play in the first game against Memphis, where he only had 1 assist, so that maybe kind of factored into it. But he had 5 in the second matchup with DeJounte Murray playing, so that maybe kind of helped Jakob Poeltl a little bit with the assists. But I think he's in a pretty good spot. Let's take a look at this game. So 8 o'clock tonight, going against the Memphis Grizzlies. So it's an 8.5 point spread, 237.5 over/under. So very healthy over/under. There should hopefully be a lot of shots made and it's 8.5 points spread, which is a little bit of blowout potential, but I'm not completely worried about it. I'll have to take more of a look into this one to see how he's been in blowout situation kind of games, but I'm not that worried about it. So we'll take a look more into this one though. So center going against the Memphis Grizzlies. Let's take a look here. So center assists versus the Memphis Grizzlies. And Memphis here is kind of about right in the middle there, allowing 3.68 per game to the center position. So I'd say probably like, yeah, right in the middle, around that 15th range maybe, somewhere around there. In the last 7 games here, Memphis is, I'd say, probably on the easier side there. Let's count it real quick. 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, they're on the 12th most assists in the last 7 games per game to the center position, averaging 4.34. So I think this is a pretty good spot here. I'm sorry, that was actually last 15. I didn't mean to do that. Last 7, they're kind of still in the middle, 4.12. So I think it's a pretty good spot for Jakob Poeltl to grab at least 3 assists tonight. We'll see if he can get it done, but probably my least favorite of the day. But I still think it holds a lot of value. This is one that's pretty interesting here. Let's take a look at the rebounds here. And I hope this hasn't gotten bumped yet, because I feel like there's a shot at... Where is he? He didn't get taken off. Okay, no, he didn't. Jimmy Butler over 7 rebounds. So you probably look in the last 3 games like, what the heck? That game was the All-Star game, by the way, so kind of take that one with a little bit of grain of salt. It's an All-Star game. I wouldn't really count that one personally. But I guess technically averaging 5 in the last 5, but that's including the All-Star game. But Kyle Lowry's not playing tonight, so we take a look at this one here. So Miami here, Jimmy Butler going against the Chicago Bulls here, 4.5 point spread, 221 over/under. So it's a decently fast-paced game in a way, at least for the Heat. I mean, the Heat are usually a slower-paced team. I'm not a big fan of that. But we take a look at this game here. But if you take more to look at Jimmy Butler here, he's a -110 to hit at 7.5. So he's at 7, so you got a little bit of extra wiggle room there. I'd say for Jimmy Butler, there's a chance for a push rather than a loss, so that's always a plus. But he's hitting 8 out of his 12 games without Kyle Lowry on the team. So with him out, so and he had 4 last matchup for Chicago, and that was with Lowry. So I think he's in a pretty good spot here. 8 out of 12 without Lowry, and Lowry is not playing tonight. So as you can see right there, he is out. So we'll take a look more into this one here. This is probably my 3rd favorite of the day, I'd say. But let's take a look at where Chicago ranks to small forward rebounds, because it's where he's projected to start here. And he's a little bit on the harder side here, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, allowing the 10th least amount of rebounds to the small forward position. It's not overly tough, but it's still the top 10 toughest matchup here for small forward rebounds. In the last 7 games here, I don't think it gets much easier for him. Yeah, they get even kind of tougher, allowing, what was that, 7 on the 7th least amount of rebounds to the small forward. So it's an interesting spot here for Jimmy Butler. He's like kind of carries his team without Kyle Lowry. I'd say just does a lot. He dishes out a lot of assists, a lot of rebounds. Probably not as much points, I'd say, but I still think he's in a pretty good spot here against Chicago Bulls without Kyle Lowry. All right, let's take a look at my other favorite of the day. It's going to be a blocks and steals. I'm going with Domantas Sabonis over 1.5 blocks and steals here. So he's on a pretty big hot streak here. He's hit 4 straight games of 2. He did have 0 against Washington, but we'll take more of a look into this one. He's going against OKC tonight, averaging 1.6 in his last 5 games. So, all right, so this game here, we already took a look at this one a little bit earlier, but it's a 5-point spread, 227.5 over/under, so it's a decently fast-paced game, it kind of looks like. But center going against the keep saying OKC Thunder. It is kind of OKC Thunder, but Oklahoma City Thunder here. Let's take a look here. So let's go to season long. Center steals versus the, where are they? OKC, yeah, they're definitely on the easier side here for steals to the center position. It looks like it's probably about top 10. And the blocks to the center position, they're allowing about 3 per game. So that's kind of huge right there. They're allowing a lot of blocks there, so definitely a very easy matchup, it looks like. In the last 7 games here, they're allowing the 3rd most steals and the 2nd most blocks. So I like the spot a lot for him. So if you take more of a look into this one, though, he is a -135 to hit this over. He has hit in 43% of his games this season, has hit in 5 out of his last 10 games, and he had 4 in the last matchup versus OKC, which was on January 28th. So I'm liking the spot a good amount for Domantas Sabonis to go ahead and hit his over tonight against the Thunder. So that's what I got for you guys today. So to recap a little bit here, De'Aaron Fox over 5.5 assists, Jimmy Butler over 7 rebounds, and Jakob Poeltl over 2.5 assists, and Sabonis over 1.5 blocks and steals. So that's going to do it for today's video, man. I seriously do appreciate you guys watching. Again, if anyone is new, make sure you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn your post notifications, join the free Discord. Trying to end the month of February off right. It's been a little bit of a tougher month for me personally. It hasn't been overly tough. I'm still a little bit of profit, so that's good. But yeah, just kind of hoping for a little bit of a better February. I'm definitely expecting it to pick up a little bit in March. But yeah, hope you guys have a good night tonight. I'm hoping this is a big one, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.